Is there such a thing as a web addict? We all probably have family members or seen young people, teenagers that seem to be addicted to surfing the web, whether it's on a tablet or on a PC or on their cell phone. So is this a problem? Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just scrolling on my iWatch here, and I have
iWatch, okay.
Yeah, I got a new iWatch, so now I can get.
Did you buy that just for this episode?
No, I got it last month, and it's been pretty cool because I can keep track of all my notifications, and it shows you calorie counts and all kinds of great. I can answer phone calls from.
Can it eat for you?
No. I think that might be with the next iOS update. But
Ryan, we really need to talk.
We do. I am a web addict. I love the web. I use the internet all the time. The first thing I do in the morning and when I wake up is have my smartphone on my bedstand, and I pop up the news. I usually read the Herald Mail or the Washington Post, and I still get a hard copy of the Wall Street Journal. But I am using the internet 24/7. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I use it all. I love it.
Snapchat? Are you a Snapchatter?
I've never used Snapchat. I don't really have a reason to use Snapchat.
Hillary's a Snapchatter because you know the messages disappear by themselves.
But
that's another story.
I think the internet is such a ubiquitous instrument that my generation will continue to use. And I'm interested to see where social media goes because eventually is Facebook going to be phased out for something entirely different? Now it's turning into Instagram. And I use Instagram sometimes, but I usually mostly use Facebook. I generate some great conversations on there.
Ashley,
yes, you do.
Ashley, you're a businesswoman, and we know that we can believe everything we read on the internet because it's on the internet, right? So, is that your Bible for life? Is that what you are you an internet addict?
No, actually, I'm not. For me, active information is really important. I do a lot of, especially when you deal with international commerce, things like Dropbox and other cloud-based tools are phenomenal to have to-the-minute information available to people that may be in 5 different time zones from you. But in terms of what we're talking about here, which is kids that can't help but check their phones and their Facebook feeds, and you know, I run 3 separate businesses, and every Sunday I turn my phone off. And I have a day without my phone. I think it's important. But you can. You know, I think that the people that are just so busy aren't really busy because so much of your stinking worthless time is being taken up checking up on Facebook and posting stuff and checking up on people's lives. I think that productivity is diminished when we get involved with this kind of crap, and I don't think that it's nearly as relevant. And you know, as somebody that is fairly liberal, the one thing that I've been disappointed with the most with this president is how much he delves into social media and uses it as an active form.
I think it's great.
Well,
I think it's miserable.
The Arab Spring.
Yeah.
I think it's miserable.
And how'd that work out?
To be said. Well, it worked out in the sense of people who were yearning for democracy got together. It was a tool they used. You know, funny, I was talking to one of my friends.
It's not democracy, it's ownership. It's y'all should realize the socialist implications of having social media set up the way that it is, having security access as free in between different organizations as they are. You can't sign up for Etsy without somebody asking you to tie into your Facebook profile and have access to your Facebook photo albums. You can't tell me for 1 second that you think that social media is actually democracy in action. It's not.
Well,
it's private. It's private enterprise.
Tom, you're right.
And any free notion that we had of social media when they first started out, you know, Facebook was completely free. Well, guess what? That all shifts. And it has shifted. Facebook is paid now. You get paid advertisements.
And these little things, are, you know, these are our tracking devices. This is the implant that we all feared was going to be.
Because I don't carry one.
Well, but I mean, they can,
Good
you
for
know,
you, Tom.
you can be tracked through. You can be tracked through the grocery store or the department store. I read somewhere where one of the apps with the biggest payload in terms of unrequested or unwanted things are those little flashlight apps that you download the little flashlight. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, you know,
but
I was-
but I want to ask you a question, Tom.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, or a couple of us have talked about it relative to kids and youth. Is it just youth that are addicted
Oh,
to
God,
this?
no. But I had an interesting comment that I was going to make before. One of my friends, who we mutually know, daughter I was talking to recently about web addicts, and she said, well, you know, I'm kind of a web addict, but I consider myself fairly successful. I'm not addicted to drugs. I'm not addicted to alcohol. You know, I think I'm fairly successful if you look at it in that regard, which there's something to be said for that. But personally, I think it's a great tool, but like I said, I do not carry a cell phone, and my biggest fear is that in our culture today, as much as it connects people, it isolates them.
It absolutely does.
And
Have you
democracy cannot
Have you been
exist.
in a group lunch or whatever
Yes.
where 3 of the 5 participants are sitting there like
guilty
this,
of that.
or sitting around the dining room table where 3 of the 5 family
Yes.
members are doing
I
this?
rail
We
about
call
this all
it
the time.
whispering in our family.
Yeah.
Whenever kids at the dinner table are on their phones, we call them out. We say, "Who are you
Tom,
whispering to?"
you made a great point earlier about.
I just say, put the phone away or get out.
I just want to say for the record that Tom and I, we don't always agree on many policies, but
Really?
no, and we're starkly different in our policy perspectives. But
But
you made
not always. No,
not
I
always,
mean,
but
there's-
I mean, the idea of what they did and used Twitter as a tool for democracy, a tool for getting out communication, that was huge, and that was a
huge.
monumental position forward in this in the global usage of these phones, and it brought out new information.
It
And
shows what can be done, for good or bad,
right,
depending who's in control of it. But it's there, and people are going to use it.
yeah, I
And
agree.
we might as well use it. Those who think, you know, we're doing something good for society, it's not going to go away.
I love it. I think it's great. I love the internet. And we said there's many things that we read on Facebook or other social media sites. We're just like, oh gosh, I don't even want to be on this anymore. And it does get addicting because sometimes you do follow these long threads and you read it, you respond, you take the time, and actually you're right. You know, you can get consumed. And
I think
I
what
agree
people
with
need to
Ashley, yeah,
understand,
yeah,
you know, it's everyone can make their own decisions about
Yeah,
what they do with
yeah.
their free time. I'm libertarian in that regard. But what I will tell you is we need to understand that the content that's out on the web right now is bought and
yeah.
paid for. So when we're talking about web addictions, we're talking about addiction to brands. We're talking about addiction to marketing. We're talking about addiction to things that people are feeding us for profit.
And we're also
capitalism, and I love
talking
it.
about addiction to procrastination and time wasting.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the last word
Which
on that.
is truly the American way.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the place
So,
of TV.
stay tuned, because in 3 minutes we're going to come back and we're going to talk about a resurgence in Washington County, the resurgence of the Democratic Party. Stay with us.